What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, and if you're a returning subscriber like Surge Lax, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at a team in the Master League Classic, which I have found a lot of success with. It features Dialga in the lead, Mewtwo as the safe switch, and Landorus Therian form in the back. With this team, I have been able to climb from the 2400s all the way up to 2650, including an 11-game win streak. This team is actually very strong. One of the better teams I feel I have built for the Master League thus far. And there isn't really one particular Pokemon that threatens the whole team. Mewtwo as a safe switch with Ice Beam is actually very strong. The only real hard counter to it would be Metagross, but because we can have access to Shadow Ball, a lot of times they won't actually bring Metagross in. You're more likely to see something like Melmetal, and Ice Beam really pays dividends in those matchups. Landorus Therian form was a lot of fun to use. I did build this initially to run with Reshiram. That didn't work out so well, but it does have a lot of play on a bunch of other teams, especially if you're using good Pokemon around it. Superpower hits so many things very hard, so it is a very underutilized Pokemon for the most part, but definitely meta relevant. In today's video, we will be taking a look at 3 sets worth of battles to get a better idea of how this team works, analyzing both wins and losses, and honestly, I would highly recommend this team if you have the Pokemon available to you. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please consider leaving a like on the video. It really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Now, without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so a quick overview of the team. We have Dialga in the lead, level 41 with Best Buddy. Does meet all of the breakpoints for the mirror match. The Landorus is a functional hundo, and the Mewtwo is a hundo as well. We got Dialga into Ho-Oh right here. Not the greatest lead, but definitely playable right here. We'll see what the opponent wants to do. I'm going to build up towards the Thunder and then bait with the Iron Head. Could potentially get a shield here, but most likely they will not. And in this case, that is what they decide to do. No shield right there. Going to shield up the Earthquake because that will knock us out. They swap out into Snorlax here. So I'm actually going to build up a little bit of energy before swapping out into the Landorus Therian form. This is actually a losing matchup if the opponent has a shield advantage, so not optimal here, but I am going to look to build up to 2 superpowers, letting them throw the energy here first, and then we'll look to throw back-to-back superpowers here. Could also bait with the Stone Edge first, but probably expecting a shield anyways. In case they don't, better to go after 2 superpowers right here. Thought I could make it to 3, but it looks like we will not, so second superpower comes through, will not KO. Gonna come in here with the Dialga. What I want to actually do here is get off this Iron Head and then swap out into the Mewtwo, hoping to catch the superpower because I want an energy lead on the Mewtwo while taking minimal damage. But did we catch the superpower right here? Yes, we did. You'd love to see it. That forces them to swap out into Hydreigon. And this is where we have the pleasant surprise of Ice Beam. Bang! That's some huge damage. Pretty much the only way to beat this Pokemon right here. We are going to let this go through because these side strikes are being resisted. Cycle Cut as well. Come in with the Dialga. Need to get to, well, I'm actually going to shield up here instead and complete the farm down because I need that Iron Head for the Snorlax in the back, so we're able to farm down right there. We do outpace to the Iron Head. This is going to be enough to take out the Snorlax, and we're going to win that first game right there. GG's to the opponent. Off to a 1-0 start here in set number 1. Let's hop into the next battle. Really like this team right here. Melmetal into Dialga. One of the only Pokemon that hard counters a Pokemon on this team. So we're going to swap out into the Mewtwo here. Without Focus Blast, this actually isn't great, but we're going to bait it like we have it anyways, right? Build up to the Focus Blast. Hold off from throwing in case they do look to swap out into something that will take resisted damage, like a Lugia, for example. So they are going to stay in here. A little bit surprising. We throw another Psystrike here after getting the shield. I'm not going to shield up here. There's really no point to play for switch. They'll probably look to swap out anyways at some point, and that is what they do into the Lugia, but I'm not able to get off the Ice Beam, which is a huge break for the opponent right there. So I'm actually going to look to build up here towards the Draco Meteor. Probably will shield this up in case it is the Aeroblast, which it is. And now I'm going to build up all the way to the Draco. Could have probably farmed up a little bit more actually, but it is what it is. I'm going to throw this Draco Meteor here. Actually allow the opponent to throw the Sky Attack. And now I'm going to swap out into the Landorus and commit for the most aggressive farm down in the history of the world. Look at this farm down here before they get to the Sky Attack. Basically add 2 superpowers. And that right there was an impressive play from the opponent. I threw because I was expecting that Melmetal to have a move ready. I didn't want to take the damage, but considering how much HP I had, I definitely should not have thrown right there because I just cost myself this game. Very well timed by the opponent to lure me in with the Melmetal and then swap out into the Togekiss. That's going to win them the game right there. So GG's to the opponent. No point shielding right here. The game is over. Going to lose this one. Unfortunate, but definitely a game we could have won. Shout out to the opponent because they played it very, very well. This next battle right here was an interesting one because if I remember correctly, like, I don't know, but I feel like my moves were going a lot slower than they should. The fast moves rather. Like my cycle cuts felt like they were 3 turns, sometimes 4 turns. It felt like I was getting outpaced in a lot of situations. It's hard to tell here because it is sped up 2 times, but there were some points in this battle where I was just wondering like what the heck is going on. So kind of made it a little bit difficult to play through. I did restart the game after this battle, of course, because I don't want to deal with that in the next match if that is what's happening. But right here you could see the Metagross is going to shield up this Meteor Mash right here. Can't actually commit to the farm now, so I have to throw the Superpower instead. And this is going to knock out the Metagross right here. I'm going to look to bank this energy. We do have a Superpower ready to go. And we come in with the Mewtwo into Excadrill. This actually isn't that bad of a matchup for Mewtwo, even without the Focus Blast, because as you could see, Psystrike does huge damage to Excadrill, extremely glassy, and we also outpace to these moves. See, it looked like it was going really slow right there, but we do manage to get to the Psystrike. That's going to take out the Excadrill. I was a little bit surprised to see that, but I assumed if they have something like Draco Meteor or Outrage, it makes sense to save this shield for Dragonite. So I figured the game was over. I was trying to catch the potential Draco onto the Landorus, but it's actually a Hurricane, which means we're going to be able to take this game right here. Ironhead, the shield swap out into the Landorus, and look at how much damage a Superpower does right here to a Dragonite. That's pretty impressive. This Pokemon is extremely strong. Highly recommended if you have one because it was putting in work all day in these battles, and we're just getting started right here. Dialga into Giratina Origin, a very nice lead to see opponent likely to swap out immediately into the Excadrill. So here comes the Landorus, and this is probably the Pokemon that walls Excadrill the most in this meta. Literally can't do anything really to us. Gonna actually bait with the Stone Edge here in case they do shield, which they do. So sometimes, maybe in this elo range, you are going to get opponents shielding there. You can win this very comfortably just going straight Superpower, but if I could get a shield advantage out of this by baiting, why not? I actually lure them into shielding twice. So I really convinced them that they could take switch here by throwing that Stone Edge the first time. And we take a 2 shield advantage plus switch out of that matchup right there with the Landorus Therian. Absolutely amazing. Giratina comes back, and I'm going to shield this in case we do need this for whatever's in the back. It's actually a Groudon. Shields are down, so you know that Draco's coming through. Bang! There it is. Swap out into the Mewtwo. Commit to the farm down. This game is absolutely over. GG's to the opponent. We take that game. Let's hop into the next one right here. Going to be Dialga into a Mewtwo. Looking to close out the 4-1 set right here. Pretty neutral matchup. Could win this in the 2 shields. Opponent swaps out to Dialga instead, so I'm actually going to build up towards the Draco and hope to get a shield here, because if I do, this becomes a very, very dominant swap out into Landorus. Looking to get off this Superpower before they throw energy. This will either get the knockout or the second shield. They do actually shield. Okay, that was a little bit surprising. I am going to shield this up right here, and I want to throw the Superpower immediately because they might be close to a second one. Don't want to have to burn my other shield right here. So the Superpower comes through, going to take out the Dialga. They come back in with the Mewtwo. We have debuffed ourselves twice now, both in attack and defense. Going for the Stone Edge. Mewtwo takes that quite well, and they swap out into Kyogre for the Snipe. I will come in here with the Mewtwo. I'm going to look to throw one Psystrike right here, and then I'm going to swap out into the Dialga actually to finish off the farm down at some point. Bank a lot of energy there. Surf isn't going to KO, cannot be a Blizzard right here. So I'm going to farm down completely. If they don't get to another Surf, they do, that's fine. Equals more farm for the Mewtwo right here. I do still have my shield. This will get us to the Ice Beam, which is going to be enough to take out the opposing Mewtwo. If we lost CMP, we still have that shield. We end up taking that game, going 4-1 in set number 1 here with this team. Just getting started, a lot more battles to go. Let's see how it goes in set number 2. So jumping into set number 2 right here, still running the same team, Dialga in the lead, Mewtwo has the safe switch, Landorus Therian form in the back. First match, we got a Togekiss in the lead right here. So usually the way I like to play this is to throw an Iron Head first at the Togekiss and then swap out into the Mewtwo. We will likely get a shield here from the opponent, at which point the Mewtwo could come in here, force out the switch, but they actually didn't swap out, which I was a little bit shocked by. And I threw this because I didn't want to have to take damage, but in hindsight, I should have just took the Ancient Power and committed to the farm down here. Would have probably been better in the long run, but it's okay. We still have a very healthy Mewtwo. They come in with Excadrill, and we should be able to get off 2 Psystrikes right here. I'm actually going to bait the Focus Blast the first time by building up to it, and now get off the second Psystrike. Hopefully with the CMP tie right here, that would be ideal, but it is not. So we do get farmed down. Gonna come in with Landorus, of course, which completely walls Excadrill, so nothing to worry about here, especially with 2 shields remaining. Actually swap out into Dialga to catch the Rock Slide right here, which is a very ballsy play, but we are not able to farm down. I think I will let this go through, come back in with the Landorus. It's a Mewtwo in the back, so this game, just pretty much shield up the Psystrike here, and I should be able to win this, but I decide not to shield it up. And for whatever reason, that's going to end up costing this game. I mean, maybe we would have lost anyways because the Mewtwo probably does outpace us here, but I'm not really sure why I wouldn't shield there. I can't really farm down the Togekiss with Mud Shots. Really odd play, and we get 2 shield flexed on. So, or rather we 2 shield flexed on ourselves because I went down with 2 shields, saving those shields for season 2023, even though we just started 2022. Togekiss lead once again. Let's see if we could redeem ourselves right here. Gonna play it out the same way. Look to throw the Iron Head onto the Togekiss and then swap out into the Mewtwo. Last time they no shielded, this time they do. So here comes the Mewtwo. They're gonna throw the Ancient Power. I am not going to shield this. As you can see, it doesn't do anything really. No boost obviously is great. They swap out into Kyogre, but we are loaded on energy, so we're likely to get a shield here or the knockout from the opponent. And it turns out that they do sneak in the waterfall, which really doesn't matter, to be honest. Psystrike gets the shield, so they do want to commit to the shield. Now, I'm going to come in here with Dialga. This game should be over, just completely farmed down. But we start getting some Go Battle Lag. And I clicked on the Dialga, you saw that right here. Waiting a very long time. Eventually our Pokemon does come out, but that is not the Dialga I clicked on. That is a Landorus, and I was so mad at this moment that I didn't even shield the Landorus, which is going to end up costing us this game. A huge mental lapse right there, not shielding the Landorus. I mean, we could have still won this game even despite that lag right there, but because I didn't shield the Landorus, we're not gonna be able to take out this Palkia. And we end up losing again with 2 shields, so back-to-back losses. Definitely 2 games that could have actually been won, especially this one right here. We could have won this game, but this is where the winning streak gets on its way. And it could have been longer if we didn't throw that last game, but it is what it is. Lag out of our control. Need to control our tilt a little bit better. Landorus into the Metagross right here. Gonna go for the Stone Edge bait. They never shield, so I threw there. It really doesn't make sense. I should just be going Superpower, but it's okay. Meteor Mash comes through. Gonna get off some more farm with Mud Shot before debuffing that damage. Gonna throw the Superpower right here, and they decide to let that go through. Come back in with the Palkia. Gonna build up close to 2 Superpowers. Throw this first one, and I'll probably actually swap out into Mewtwo here, preserving that second Superpower for late in the game. We do get to this Psystrike right here. Are they going to shield this up? Yes, they do. Now, Aqua Tail will not KO. If this is a Draco Meteor, so be it. I'm okay letting the Mewtwo go down here in exchange for the attack drop. That's going to force them to swap out of here. They'd have to swap out regardless against the Dialga, but here comes the Excadrill. This is not what we want to see. So I need to get this shield here. My idea was to hopefully get the Draco Meteor and then swap out to Landorus, snipe them with the Superpower. But remember, I actually don't have the Superpower ready yet. So it's better that that didn't work out for me, because now the drill run will not take us out. We come in with the Landorus. I'm able to overfarm because they just threw their energy. This Superpower is going to knock out the Excadrill, and we have just enough health remaining to get to this second Superpower here. And look at how much this does. Debuff to the Palkia, takes it out. We win that game. Back on the winning track. Landorus took out all 3 Pokemon in that battle, putting in the work. Very strong Pokemon for this meta. Dialga into Zacian. So we finally get to see Zacian here in the lead. Swap out into Mewtwo. Mewtwo has a pretty solid matchup here against the Zacian. I'm going to throw this Psystrike before they get off a move. course, if they debuff themselves, I'd rather throw it after, but it is hard to time the CMP sometimes in these 2 versus 3 turn moves, and we do shield a close combat, which is unfortunate. But they come in with the Lugia, so I'm going to go for the Ice Beam right here. Likely not expecting this huge damage. I'm hoping to get to a second one. This is only a Sky attack, which we are going to be able to survive. That's going to allow us to get to another Ice Beam right here, but I swap out instead into Dialga. And at this point here, I'm going to throw the Iron Head before they get to Aeroblast. I wasn't worried about Sky Attack, so Aeroblast would have done a lot of damage. And since Sky Attack wouldn't, I didn't have to worry in case they threw that earlier. Zacian comes back in. Close combat would threaten us here. Let's see if I decide to shield. I do not. I'm saving that energy or that shield for the Landorus in the back. Now, they're likely to swap out here, but I threw this energy anyways. And it is going to land on the Excadrill, which is okay. Could have built up to the Psystrike there to guarantee I had it ready. I think that's a bit of a misplay here, but Landorus, very dominant matchup, of course. Probably could farm down if I really wanted to, but I'm just going to throw the superpower instead. And they're going to no shield that, saving it for the Zacian. I'm going to go for this Stone Edge right here, which would actually deal some pretty nice damage, but would not KO, I believe, from this range. They do burn the shield. At this point, I have a decision to make. Can I survive one Snarl the Mewtwo, or from the Zacian on the Mewtwo? And I figure, you know what, I probably can, because if I can't, I should be swapping out at some point here to land the superpower after. I put faith in my Mewtwo. Let's see if it actually happens. Play Rough takes out the Landers. Mewtwo comes in, survives one Snarl, gets off this Psystrike right here. This could have all been avoided if I just built up to the Psystrike before swapping out against the Excadrill. Something to keep in mind for future battles. But we do take that game 2-2. Heading into match number 3, we got Dialga into another Palkia lead right here. Opponent's going to swap out into Excadrill, and here comes the Landorus. And this is the best matchup you could pretty much ask for right here. I'm going to let the opponent throw first. I don't want to give that Palkia too much farm. And they actually throw a second move, which I wasn't expecting, but now I figured, hey, since we're so low, can I once again convince them to let this go through and maybe start using shields, thinking they can win this match? And guess what? That's what this opponent started thinking, because they no shielded the Stone Edge, probably figured I can't reach 2 superpowers. They were wrong. Second superpower coming through, and now although we're debuffed, still able to farm down the Excadrill. We take switch, 2 shield advantage, and we win the game. Holy smokes, that opponent probably did not want to carry on right there. They don't want the smoke. We take that game though, 3-2, a very nice bounce back. Let's hop in to set number 3. So jumping into the third set of battles right here. Still operating the same team, a very strong one on a current 3-game win streak. Dialga into Kyogre right here. A very nice lead. Opponent swaps down to Dialga. I come in with the Landorus. And you know, this isn't the greatest matchup for Landorus, but it's still pretty good. Gonna take that Iron Head. I am going to shield it, rather I should say. Gonna build up to 100 energy, throw this superpower right here. Let's see if they want to shield this up. They do not. So now the Kyogre comes back in. I'm gonna look to throw this superpower, hoping I can get off 2, but I did let that waterfall sneak through, and with the debuff, it is going to KO. So not optimal, but we do come back in with the Dialga right here. And it could be a Togekiss in the back, obviously a very common team right here. If that's the case, I want to get 1 shield here with the Iron Head before swapping out to make this even. Come in with the Mewtwo, and now we should be able to take this game. Gonna go for the Ice Beam just for the straight knockout right here. Does about 75% of its health, but they do decide to shield up. Now, if I could get this Togekiss into like the 50% health range, I could actually KO with the Psystrike and then have a second one ready for the Kyogre in the back. So that's what I'm going to do right here. Psystrike just enough to KO. We do make it to the Psystrike for the Kyogre, and we're going to be able to take this game off the power of Mewtwo here in the Master League. Absolute beast. And I have a hundo, so I may as well use it. Next battle, we got Dialga into a Giratina Origin. So another very dominant lead right here. Opponent is going to swap out into the Zacian. We come in with the Mewtwo. I'm gonna let them throw the first move here. Could potentially be a play rough. I do shield it up. Very nice shield right there, although we don't really need to shield to win this match. But in case they swap out, I want to still have some health on this Mewtwo to cause some damage for whatever comes in. Going to get off this second Psystrike here. That is going to go unshielded. they give up the Zacian right there. So I assume they have a second counter for Dialga in the back maybe. Giratina comes in, gonna throw this Psystrike right here. This does apply a lot of pressure to the Giratina, as you could see. I'm gonna force them to throw energy here as well, just hoping for no boost on the Ominous Wind. And thankfully they do not get it. So I will come back in here with the Dialga. They swap out into Togekiss. It's a bit of a trickier spot here because Landorus isn't as dominant as Mewtwo against the Togekiss. So I get the shield, swap out into Landorus. And I'm hoping I could KO here with a Stone Edge. I'm gonna have to throw 2, of course. Going to let the Ancient Power go through. No boost. If they get the boost, we automatically lose. Have to time this perfectly to deny the charm if we're going to make it to this next Stone Edge. And thankfully we do right before that charm sneaks through. Stone Edge coming through, enough to take out the Togekiss. Giratina comes back in, and we are going to be able to win this game. So 2-0 in the third set of battles. Let's hop into the next one. Got Josh Kim 0413. We got Dialga into a Dialga. The mirror match right here. This is where you want to have 15 attack. Best buddy level 41, of course. And it looks like I may be slightly ahead. It's hard to tell right here. Probably even, who knows, but with the Go Battle Lag, you never know what's going on. I throw the Iron Head, they shield it up. And I'm actually going to no shield this Iron Head right here and then swap out into my Landorus. And they swap out into Kyogre. So, I mean, not the greatest thing to see, but we can actually win this in some situations. Stone Edge comes through. Can we outpace to the superpower? If they're not going to throw the Surf, we can win this right here. Bang! Kyogre gets taken out by a Landorus. They did not want to go down. 2 shields to 0. Very nice spot. Mewtwo comes in, does get a nice energy lead, which isn't good. And my Dialga is very low, so I'm in a very weird spot right here. I come in with the Mewtwo, and we got to make a call right here. If we get baited, we basically lose. Huge call right there on the Psystrike. If that was a Shadow Ball, it is GG. But maybe they don't have Shadow Ball, right? So gonna build up here. Our CP is higher, so there is a possibility we could be winning CMP here every time. We do get the shield. Looks like we did win CMP right there. And their Dialga is still pretty healthy, so this isn't exactly the best spot to be in. I am going to shield right here, build up to the Psystrike, and they actually swap out on the Psystrike, which is pretty much perfect because I needed to get rid of this Dialga. They come back in. I had confidence in my Mewtwo to win CMP right here. Psystrike coming through, takes out the Mewtwo. We win that game. Very tough spot there at the end, but we managed to pull it out. Let's hop into the next one on quite the win streak right now. And we got Dialga into Excadrill. This is a very difficult lead, of course, so we're going to swap out into the Mewtwo immediately. And the opponent is staying in. They're ahead by 1 mud shot, I believe, just barely ahead. So Drill Run comes through. I'm going to build up to the Psystrike, but not throw in case they try doing that. Lugia coming in. Ice Beam coming through. Bang! That's like 50%. And we actually get to a second one. And this will be enough to take out the Lugia if they don't shield. Actually, it's not quite enough, but we are able to farm down. We take out the Lugia in the 0 shields. And we have some residual energy left over, which means a Psystrike is coming through on this Excadrill. Mewtwo going absolutely bonkers in this matchup right here. Landorus comes in to wall the Excadrill, of course. Rock Slide comes through. We tank it very, very well. I am going to shield the second one in case I do need this Landorus for whatever is in the back. Gonna build up. And they swap out into Landorus. So good thing I didn't throw the superpower right there. Stone Edge coming through, deals some really nice damage. Incarnate versus Therian, swap out to catch the Rock Slide. Yes, we do. Very, very nice. And now we're able to farm down before they get to the Earth Power, which means Excadrill comes back in. They're kind of forced to shield at this point because Landorus applies so much pressure with the Mud Shot. Now this game's over. We just saved the shield for the Landorus, get off the superpower, and we're going to be able to win this game. So Landorus pulling out the win once again. That was all Mewtwo though in that battle for the most part. Mewtwo went absolutely crazy, winning switch against the Lugia, still getting off a Psystrike against that Excadrill. Just a very dominant performance. 4-0 heading into this next battle right here. We got Dialga into Kyogre, so another positive lead right here. And with leads like this, you have to win these games. Dialga comes in. You have to expect Kyogre, Dialga, Togekiss, of course. FP Sticks showcased that team a while ago. It's a team from like season 1, still very dominant in today's meta. We are going to shield up this Iron Head. No, we're not going to shield up the Iron Head. Okay, I actually like this play here because we are able to get to 2 superpowers still, and even if they shield, we're going to get the knockout with the second superpower ready. So I like that play right there. No points of shield with the Kyogre coming back in. Superpower still does very nice damage, as you could see after the debuff, which is crazy. Landorus is super OP. Coming with Dialga, here comes the Togekiss. Would take too long to get to the Iron Head, so I decided to just come in with the Mewtwo instead. We have the shield advantage, so I could afford to just go straight Ice Beam here in this match. Basically take the game. Gonna shield up the Togekiss right here. As long as no boost, right? That's basically the only win con for the opponent right here. We do over farm, gets the Ice Beam just to be safe. Going for the Ice Beam right here, the guaranteed knockout. We still have Dialga in the back for the Kyogre. And with the shield, this game is basically over. Gonna shield up the Surf right here. We will outpace to this Iron Head, and although it is resisted, it's going to be too much for the Kyogre to handle. Hit him with that bang Iron Head KO. We take that game 5-0, an 8-game win streak at this point, and we carry that on into the next set, which was not recorded, but I did get the rewards at the end. So we ended up going on an 11-game win streak with this team, 16-4 overall. I do have the rewards claim after this one. Ended up getting up to, I think, 2590, and then I did a couple more sets after this video, got me into the 2600s. Very dominant team. Highly recommend it if you have the Pokemon available to you. Mewtwo as a safe switch, super strong. Landorus Therian form, very underrated. Highly recommend this team. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.